Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to remind every woman in this room of a truth that should never be forgotten. A queen walks away, she never begs. A high-value woman does not chase after love, validation, or attention. She chooses who gets the privilege of being in her life. She understands that love is not something to be pleaded for. It is something that flows naturally when it's right. Begging for love, attention, or respect is beneath her because she knows her worth. If someone fails to see her value, she does not lower her standards, she elevates her mindset. She does not fear walking away from situations that do not serve her because she knows that the right people will never make her feel like she has to beg for a place in their lives. Today, I want you to step into your power, to embrace your self-worth, and to remember, a queen never chases, she attracts. She never begs, she walks away with her crown held high. Are you ready to claim your worth? Let's talk about how. A high-value woman understands her worth, and she never settles for less than what she truly deserves. She recognizes that her value is not determined by others, but by the way she carries herself, the standards she upholds, and the love she has for herself. Knowing your worth begins with self-awareness, understanding who you are, what you bring to the table, and what you will and will not tolerate in your life. It is about embracing your strengths, acknowledging your flaws, and still standing firm in your identity without seeking external validation. A woman who knows her worth does not accept breadcrumbs of love, attention, or respect. She refuses to be an afterthought in someone's life, and she does not entertain situations that make her feel unworthy. She understands that settling for less than she deserves is an act of self-betrayal, and she chooses herself over anything that diminishes her self-respect. This mindset comes from deep self-love, which is cultivated through personal growth, self-reflection, and an unshakable belief in her own value. Confidence is a natural byproduct of knowing one's worth. A woman who truly values herself walks into any room with grace and poise. She does not shrink to make others feel comfortable, nor does she dim her light for fear of intimidation. She stands tall, speaks with certainty, and moves through life with a quiet, unshakable confidence that commands respect. Her energy is magnetic, and people can sense that she carries herself with a deep-rooted sense of self-worth. This level of self-awareness and confidence doesn't come overnight. It requires inner work, including identifying limiting beliefs, healing from past wounds, and unlearning the idea that love and validation must be earned through suffering. Many women are conditioned to believe that they must prove themselves to be loved, that they must prove themselves to be loved, that they must tolerate disrespect, chase after attention, or accept half-hearted efforts. But a high-value woman rewrites this narrative. She knows that love should feel safe, secure, and effortless. She does not tolerate inconsistency, mixed signals, or emotional games. She also understands the power of boundaries. Setting boundaries is not about being cold or distant. It's about having clarity on what is acceptable and what is not. A woman who knows her worth does not allow toxic behavior to linger in her life. If someone disrespects her, takes her for granted, or fails to meet her standards, she does not hesitate to walk away. She knows that a true queen does not beg for love. She does not chase after attention, and she does not plead for respect. She simply removes herself from situations that do not align with her value system. In relationships, a woman who knows her worth does not settle for lukewarm love. She does not invest her time in people who make her feel like she has to earn their affection. Instead, she aligns herself with those who see her value from the start, people who uplift, appreciate, and respect her without her having to beg for it. She does not tolerate being treated as an option, nor does she lower her standards out of fear of being alone. She understands that being alone is far better than being in a relationship that makes her question her worth. This level of self-worth also extends beyond romantic relationships. A woman who values herself does not allow friendships, work environments, or social circles to drain her energy or make her feel less than she is. She surrounds herself with people who inspire, uplift, and support her growth. She walks away from friendships that feel one-sided, jobs that do not recognize her talent, and environments that do not align with her highest self. She understands that her time, energy, and presence are valuable, and she does not waste them on anything that does not serve her well. Self-worth is also reflected in the way she treats herself. A woman who knows her value invests in herself mentally, emotionally, and physically. She prioritizes self-care, continuous learning, and personal development. She does not neglect her own needs for the sake of pleasing others. She understands that taking care of herself is not selfish, but necessary. She cultivates a strong sense of independence, knowing that her happiness does not depend on external sources, but on the love and respect she gives to herself. She does not let fear dictate her decisions. Many women settle in relationships, careers, and friendships out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of not finding better. But a high-value woman knows that fear is an illusion. She trusts that by honoring her worth, she will attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences. She does not settle for mediocrity because she believes that life has more to offer. A woman who knows her worth exudes a level of self-respect that makes it clear she is not to be played with. She does not entertain toxic dynamics, tolerate disrespect, or engage in situations that make her feel undervalued. She has a deep understanding that what she accepts is what she will continue to receive. If she allows herself to be treated as a second option, she will always be treated as such. But if she stands firm in her standards, she will naturally attract those who respect and appreciate her. The world respects a woman who respects herself. When a woman carries herself with dignity and grace, she naturally commands respect without having to demand it. People take her seriously because she takes herself seriously. She is not easily manipulated, and she does not fall for empty words or false promises. She looks at actions, not just words. She listens to patterns, not excuses. She understands that consistency and effort are non-negotiable in any relationship. Knowing your worth is not arrogance, it is self-awareness. It is understanding that you are deserving of love, respect, and reciprocity. It is refusing to settle for situations that make you question your value. It is recognizing that you are the prize and that anyone who fails to see your worth does not deserve a place in your life. A high-value woman never begs for love because she knows that love, when real, does not require begging. She does not tolerate half-hearted efforts, and she does not waste time on people who do not see her for who she truly is. She embraces her power, walks with confidence, and stays true to herself no matter what. Self-respect is the foundation of a high-value woman's mindset. It is the invisible force that dictates how she carries herself, how she interacts with others, and what she allows into her life. A woman who prioritizes self-respect understands that desperation has no place in love, relationships, or any area of life. She does not seek validation from others, nor does she compromise her values just to be accepted. She knows that self-respect is non-negotiable, and she protects it at all costs. When a woman has deep self-respect, she does not beg for attention, time, or love. She does not plead for someone to stay in her life, nor does she chase after those who show indifference toward her. She understands that love should be mutual, effort should be reciprocated, and respect should be a given, not a request. She does not tolerate being ignored, dismissed, or treated as an afterthought because she knows her value. She recognizes that desperation only leads to settling for less than she deserves, and she refuses to participate in that cycle. A woman who respects herself does not allow others to dictate her worth. She does not measure her value based on how others treat her because she knows that external validation is fleeting. She understands that respect begins with the way she views herself, the way she speaks to herself, and the way she prioritizes her own well-being. She does not engage in self-deprecating thoughts, nor does she allow negative experiences to define her. She maintains a strong sense of self-worth, regardless of how others perceive her. The fear of being alone, the fear of not being enough, the fear of losing someone. But a high-value woman understands that fear is an illusion. She does not let the fear of loneliness push her into relationships that do not align with her standards. She does not let the fear of rejection make her beg for love or attention. She does not let the fear of loss make her hold on to people who do not deserve her presence. She trusts that what is meant for her will never require her to beg, chase, or compromise her dignity. A woman with self-respect does not tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or toxic behavior. She does not excuse mistreatment, nor does she allow others to take advantage of her kindness. She sets clear boundaries and enforces them unapologetically. She understands that boundaries are not walls. They are a form of self-care. They are a declaration of what she will and will not accept in her life. She does not feel guilty for protecting her energy because she knows that those who truly value her will respect her limits. When a woman prioritizes self-respect, she does not give endless chances to those who repeatedly hurt her. She does not believe in potential over reality. She does not invest in relationships where she has to prove her worth or convince someone to choose her. She understands that people's actions reveal their true intentions, and she does not ignore red flags. She does not stay in situations where she feels unappreciated, undervalued, or unseen. She walks away with grace, knowing that her self-worth is not up for negotiation. A woman with self-respect does not overextend herself for people who do not reciprocate her efforts. She does not pour endlessly into others while neglecting herself. She understands that love, care, and support should be mutual. She does not chase after someone who consistently puts in minimal effort. She does not accept being an option when she knows she deserves to be a priority. She refuses to settle for one-sided relationships where she is the only one investing emotionally, mentally, or physically. She knows that love should never come at the expense of her self-respect. She does not tolerate situations where she has to prove her worth or beg for the bare minimum. She does not allow herself to be strung along, breadcrumbed, or emotionally manipulated. She does not lower her standards out of fear that she will not find better. She believes in abundance. knowing that there are people who will recognize her value without her having to fight for it. A high-value woman also understands that self-respect is reflected in the way she communicates and presents herself. She does not beg for closure, attention, or explanations from those who have disrespected her. She does not engage in unnecessary arguments or chase after people who have already shown her their true colors. She knows that silence is sometimes the loudest response, and walking away is sometimes the strongest move. She values her peace more than the need to prove a point. She does not settle for half-hearted apologies, empty promises, or inconsistent behavior. She holds people accountable for their actions, and she expects the same level of respect that she gives. She does not tolerate hot and cold dynamics, mind games, or situations that make her feel insecure. She understands that love should be consistent, stable, and secure. She does not romanticize inconsistency or mistake emotional roller coasters for passion. A woman who respects herself does not compete for anyone's love or attention. She knows that she is enough just as she is, and she does not feel the need to prove her worth to anyone. She does not engage in unhealthy comparisons, nor does she seek validation through external achievements or relationships. She understands that her worth is intrinsic, not dependent on someone else's approval. She carries herself with confidence, knowing that the right people will see her value without her having to convince them. She also understands the importance of emotional discipline. She does not let her emotions control her decisions or make her act out of desperation. She does not beg for people to treat her right, nor does she try to force relationships that are not meant to be. She knows that real love should not feel like a battle for recognition. She understands that begging for love diminishes her power, while walking away reinforces her worth. She does not engage in toxic cycles of seeking validation from those who do not appreciate her. She does not go back to situations that left her feeling unworthy. She does not ignore her intuition when it tells her that she deserves better. She trusts herself, her judgment, and her ability to make decisions that align with her highest good. She knows that self-respect is a daily practice, a commitment to choosing herself every single time. A high-value woman moves with certainty. She does not second-guess herself when she walks away from situations that do not honor her. She does not look back and wonder if she should have begged a little more, tolerated a little longer, or settled for a little less. She knows that self-respect requires strength, and she embraces that strength fully. She understands that when she respects herself, the world follows suit. Walking away from what no longer serves you is one of the most powerful decisions a high-value woman can make. It is an act of self-respect, self-love, and personal growth. When a woman recognizes that a situation, relationship, or environment is draining her, diminishing her worth, or holding her back, she does not hesitate to remove herself. She understands that clinging to things that no longer align with her values, growth, or happiness only prolongs her suffering. She knows that walking away is not a sign of weakness, but a declaration of strength. A woman who values herself understands that not everything or everyone is meant to stay in her life forever. She recognizes when a relationship has run its course, when a friendship has become toxic, or when a job is no longer fulfilling. She does not stay in situations out of obligation, guilt, or fear of change. She knows that growth often requires letting go of what is familiar, even when it is uncomfortable. She trusts that by releasing what no longer serves her, she creates space for something better. She understands that walking away does not mean she did not care. It means she cares about herself enough to not tolerate being in a place where she is not valued. She does not hold on to people who continuously hurt her, disrespect her, or fail to show up for her in the way she deserves. She does not chase love, friendships, or opportunities that require her to beg for recognition. She knows that what is meant for her will never require her to shrink, suppress her needs, or accept less than she deserves. A high-value woman is not afraid of being alone. She knows that solitude is far better than being surrounded by people who drain her energy or make her question her worth. She does not stay in toxic relationships because she is afraid of starting over. She does not keep people in her life simply because of history or familiarity. She evaluates relationships based on their present value, not just their past significance. She understands that sometimes the most loving thing she can do for herself is to walk away. She listens to her intuition when it tells her that something is not right. She does not ignore red flags, dismiss her feelings, or convince herself to stay in situations that bring her pain. She trusts herself enough to recognize when it is time to leave, and she honors that decision with confidence. She does not wait for things to get worse before she takes action. She does not allow herself to become so drained and depleted that leaving feels like an act of desperation rather than a choice made from a place of power. When a woman walks away from what no longer serves her, she does so with grace and dignity. She does not engage in unnecessary drama, prolonged arguments, or attempts to force change in others. She accepts that she cannot control people, only her response to them. She does not waste energy trying to fix, heal, or change someone who is unwilling to grow. She does not stay in situations hoping that things will magically improve while ignoring the reality in front of her. She chooses to walk away when she realizes that staying will only bring her more pain. She understands that walking away is not always easy. There are moments of doubt, sadness, and nostalgia. There are moments when she wonders if she made the right choice, if she should have held on a little longer, if things could have been different. But deep down, she knows that holding on to something that no longer serves her only delays her healing and growth. She embraces the discomfort of walking away because she knows that temporary pain is better than a lifetime of settling for less than she deserves. She does not allow guilt to keep her stuck. Many women stay in unhealthy situations because they feel guilty for leaving, guilty for prioritizing themselves, guilty for saying no. But a high-value woman understands that self-preservation is not selfish. She does not let guilt manipulate her into staying where she is not happy. She knows that people who truly love and respect her will understand her decision, and those who do not were never meant to be part of her journey long term. She also understands that walking away is not about proving a point to anyone. She does not leave just to get a reaction, make someone regret losing her, or seek validation from others. She walks away because she values her peace more than she values external approval. She does not announce her departure with grand statements or dramatic exits. She simply removes herself and focuses on her own healing, growth, and happiness. A high-value woman does not look back with regret. She does not allow herself to be pulled back into situations she has already outgrown. She does not return to people who did not appreciate her when she was there. She does not entertain apologies that come without changed behavior. She does not reopen doors she closed for a reason. She trusts that her decision to walk away was made for her highest good, and she moves forward with faith that better things are ahead. She also understands that walking away is not just about people, it is about anything in her life that is no longer aligned with who she is becoming, she walks away from limiting beliefs that tell her she is not good enough. She walks away from habits that do not support her growth. She walks away from environments that drain her energy. She walks away from the version of herself that once tolerated things she now knows she does not deserve. A woman who values herself embraces the unknown with courage. She knows that letting go of something familiar can be scary, but she also knows that growth requires discomfort. She does not stay in situations just because they are comfortable or predictable. She is willing to step into the unknown, trusting that she will find something better. She understands that every ending is also a new beginning, and she welcomes change as an opportunity for transformation. She knows that walking away is an act of self-love. It is a statement that says, I deserve better. It is a commitment to choosing herself even when it is hard. It is a refusal to settle for anything less than the love, respect, and happiness she deserves. It is an acknowledgement that she is worthy of more than what she has been accepting. It is the ultimate demonstration of her strength, confidence, and self-respect. A high-value woman understands that she does not need to chase after love, attention, or validation. She knows that her energy, confidence, and self-worth naturally attract the right people and opportunities into her life. Instead of running after those who show indifference or inconsistency, she focuses on becoming the best version of herself, trusting that what is meant for her will come effortlessly. She understands that desperation pushes people away while confidence and self-assurance draw them in. She does not engage in the exhausting cycle of proving her worth to those who fail to recognize it. She does not waste time trying to convince someone to choose her, appreciate her, or prioritize her. She understands that genuine connection should be mutual, and if she has to force it, it is not real. She does not lower her standards in an attempt to be more likable or acceptable. Instead, she holds firm to her values and trusts that the right person will meet her where she is. A woman who knows her worth operates from a place of abundance, not scarcity. She does not believe that she has to cling to any one person or opportunity out of fear that she will not find better. She understands that love is not something to chase, but something that flows naturally when the right people enter her life. She trusts that by being authentic and true to herself, she will attract relationships that are fulfilling, respectful, and aligned with her values. She does not tolerate inconsistency or mixed signals. If someone is unsure about her, she does not waste time trying to persuade them of her value. She does not engage in situations where she is left guessing, waiting, or hoping for clarity. She knows that a man who truly values her will be clear about his intentions, and she refuses to accept anything less. She walks away from confusion and chooses certainty, knowing that the right person will never make her feel uncertain about where she stands. A woman who attracts rather than chases understands the power of self-respect. She does not overextend herself for people who do not reciprocate her energy. She does not compromise her boundaries in an effort to keep someone interested. She does not invest in one-sided relationships where she is always the one giving while the other person only takes. She understands that a healthy connection requires balance, and she refuses to accept anything that drains her emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. She also knows that attraction goes beyond physical appearance. While she may take care of herself and present herself with confidence, she understands that true attraction is about energy, mindset, and the way she carries herself. She cultivates a strong sense of self, engages in meaningful conversations, and radiates positivity. She does not feel the need to be loud or overly flashy to gain attention. Instead, her quiet confidence speaks for itself, drawing the right people toward her effortlessly. A high-value woman understands that she sets the tone for how others treat her. If she acts from a place of desperation, she will attract people who take her for granted. If she stands firm in her self-worth, she will naturally draw in those who respect and appreciate her. She does not waste energy on those who only offer the bare minimum. She does not tolerate people who only come around when it is convenient for them. She values herself too much to accept temporary attention when she deserves consistency. She does not engage in the chase because she understands that a man who truly wants her will make the effort to be in her life. She does not need to beg for attention, double text, or prove her worth to someone who is not investing in her. She knows that a man who recognizes her value will step up without hesitation. She does not entertain games, manipulation, or breadcrumbing. If someone is not making an effort, she simply redirects her energy elsewhere. A woman who attracts rather than chases focuses on self-improvement. She invests in her own growth, passions, and happiness. She does not make her life revolve around seeking love or validation from others. Instead, she creates a fulfilling life for herself, knowing that the right person will be drawn to her naturally. She understands that confidence and independence are magnetic, and she embraces them fully. She also knows that emotional availability is just as important as self-worth. She does not build walls or push people away out of fear of being hurt. Instead, she maintains healthy emotional boundaries while remaining open to genuine connection. She understands the difference between guarding her heart and being emotionally closed off. She trusts herself enough to recognize when someone is worthy of her vulnerability and when they are not. A high-value woman does not let rejection shake her confidence. She understands that not everyone will appreciate her, and that is okay. She does not take it personally when someone is not interested, because she knows that rejection is simply redirect. She does not waste time dwelling on those who do not see her worth. Instead, she keeps moving forward, knowing that the right person will recognize and cherish her. She does not allow herself to be placed in situations where she feels like she has to compete for someone's attention. She does not get caught up in love triangles, competing with other women, or trying to prove that she is the better choice. She knows that if a man is entertaining multiple options, he is not the man for her. She refuses to be a second choice or an option. She values herself enough to walk away from anything that makes her feel like she has to fight for a place in someone's life. A woman who attracts rather than chases understands that patience is key. She does not settle for the first person who shows her attention just because she does not want to be alone. She does not rush into relationships out of fear of missing out. She takes her time, evaluates whether the connection aligns with her values, and allows relationships to unfold naturally. She does not let societal pressure or timelines dictate her love life. She trusts that everything will happen at the right time with the right person. She understands that desperation repels while confidence attracts. A woman who is desperate for love, attention, or validation often finds herself in unfulfilling relationships with people who do not truly appreciate her. On the other hand, a woman who is content with herself, who enjoys her own company, and who radiates confidence naturally draws people in. She does not need to prove herself to anyone because her presence alone is enough. She does not engage in validation-seeking behavior. She does not post for attention, seek approval through social media, or rely on external affirmations to feel worthy. She knows that true confidence comes from within, not from the number of likes, compliments, or messages she receives. She does not need to be constantly reassured of her value because she already knows it. A woman who attracts rather than chases also understands that the energy she puts out is the energy she will receive. If she operates from a place of desperation, she will attract people who take advantage of that. If she operates from a place of self-love, she will attract people who respect and value her. She knows that by focusing on her own happiness, growth, and self-care, she naturally becomes a magnet for the right kind of love. She does not let loneliness dictate her choices. She understands that being alone is better than being in a relationship that drains her. She does not rush into situations out of a fear of being single. She enjoys her own company, knowing that when the right person comes along, it will be a complement to her life, not a necessity. She does not settle for half-hearted efforts, temporary attention, or meaningless connections just to fill a void. A high-value woman moves through life with the quiet confidence of knowing that she does not need to chase anything that is truly meant for her. She trusts in herself, her journey, and the timing of her life. She knows that by being the best version of herself, she will naturally attract people who see her worth without her having to prove it.